family, peace and blessings. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. You know, in my studies this morning, I was watching uh, social media, and they were showing a picture of the FOI in the community. And being an FOI myself and being in the community, it made me reflect on the fact that how we are received in the community, you know, and then I was reflecting on the fact that there are others who try to say, they not Muslims, they Kafirs, they this, they that, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that you ain't never got to condemn a dirty glass. You just place a clean glass next to it, and the people always choose the clean glass to drink from, and I want to shout out to all of us that, that serve, you know, in our community, trying to make our communities a safe and decent place to live. Because I know it's not easy dealing with our people. Hell, it's not easy dealing with ourselves, because self-improvement, that's the basis for community development. That's the first thing that we have to overcome, just ourselves. And then trying to make a change in our community, trying to do the little bit that we do. And watching these videos and seeing how our people embrace us, and being in the community and watching how our people embrace us, and how people want to take pictures of us, and and because they know what we represent. And it's nothing, to try to boast us up or anything, but I want to say thank you to all of the believers, and to the FOI and the MGT that go out here and soldier too, because it ain't easy, man. Being in the nation, many are called but few are chosen. So I just thought it was a beautiful thing, and it just reaffirmed my my stance in the nation, because you know if you're not part of the solution, brothers and sisters, then you're part of the problem. Many of us, we talk a good game, because we be out here, we're talking, but we don't, actions have to, we're taught, the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan teaches us love is a verb. And love being a verb, we have to show forth action. And if we don't show forth the action, then the words are just words. And so often in our community, we see it and hear about situations like this, where as though, someone will say you're in a relationship with someone, and they say that they love you, and in their love, they're cheating on you, they're beating on you, But one of my father, I remember, because he wasn't a very emotional man, and I was said to him one time, you don't really tell me that you love me. But he asked the question, he said, do I show you I loved you? And then, which I saw in the movie Fences, um, I remember Denzel Washington was talking to his son. And when he was talking to his son was like, Dad, you act like you don't love me. And he said, he said, you eat every day, right? You got a roof over your head, right? And I mean, yeah, these are the basics, but at the same time, there are parents out here that say they love their children, but yet they don't do for themselves. And I get it, because if I was to ask everyone on this this live stream, or this post that I'm making, if they love their self, they would all say yes. But yet we all do stuff to harm self. And so we may smoke cigarettes, we may drink alcohol, which is really an intoxicant, is really death itself. And, in doing this, we're killing ourselves. So if I kill myself, what chance do you have if I'm with you in a relationship? You are just going to be in trouble, right? So shout out to the brothers in the nation and the sisters in the nation of Islam that are striving to be better today, because in striving to love ourselves, because and in loving ourselves, we're loving our people, because love starts at home and then spreads abroad. And so I can't love you if I don't love me. I can't love God if I don't love me. And so I'm trying to make strides every day to be a better person today than I am yesterday, and I pray a lot that I'm a better person tomorrow than I am today. And I hope that we all continue to strive in this manner. And those that are not striving in this manner, I hope that you make a decision today to try to strive in this manner, because life is short. And, we are all an example, brothers and sisters, whether for good or for bad. And I know so often in the black community, we use the language, don't do as I do as I say. And that's hypocrisy. And so often we are seeing our people, and see, words are powerful, and the enemy knows how powerful words are, brothers and sisters. He knows that words are so powerful, so he constantly has us singing dumb songs like boosting bees, where you at, popping tags, and got us out here doing videos on TikTok. And then I just saw a video of sisters, they had got arrested for doing this. They were doing it. They boosted some Louis Vuitton bags and got caught about going online singing that dumb song. Because words are powerful. Words create, and we say it all the time. But if you're listening to constant craziness every day, if you're listening to madness that is feeding our lower selves, what are we going to create? If we watch a television programs, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, they say. And so the pictures, not only is it worth 1,000 words, it's a moving picture. A regular picture is worth how much is a moving picture worth? For 2 hours, it's speaking volumes to you, brothers and sisters. And so, I want us to think over these things, and our when we're watching something or listening to something, and I'm talking to myself as well, because a lot of times, I had to catch myself, because I'll be listening to songs and I'll be like, what the? I can't be listening to this as an FOI, or just, if as trying to be a better human being. You don't have to be an FOI, but, you're trying to be a better human being. So we want to set forth a better example for our people, because the example that we see and the picture that we see every day in our community, our community is a picture, and it's saying 1,000 words. And what do we see in our community? Do we see positivity going on in our community? Do we see, do we speak righteous words to each other? Do we speak uplifted words to one another? Do we be like, yo, what's up, my nigga? Yo, what's up, my B? Oh, I'm a bad B. These are words that we use every day, and we just use them like it's normal. So, let's strive to do better. And I'm striving to do better. And I just want for you what I want for myself. I'm just passing on to you what I learned today. And I hope what I say makes sense, you know. But I'm not trying to say I'm better or anything of that nature. I'm just striving to try to be better today, because God is real. And, Jesus says that this is the people who draw nigh unto me with their lips, but their hearts are far removed from me. And so often do I hear or see in our community that, we talk God. Lord knows we talk. We know we talk God. We just watched the BET Awards and Cardi B out there with a breast out. And some may say, well, what's that got to do with God? You ain't see Mary dressed like that. You ain't see her dressed out there with a breast out. You ain't see her hair out, see her hair covered. But, that's another story for another day. Again, you never have to condemn a dirty glass. You just have to place a clean glass next to it. And, talk is just like talking love. I love you. I love you. But our actions don't go forward with what we're saying, And so, as I heard Minister Nori says, our audio doesn't match our video. And so, those of us that are old enough remember the VHS tapes when we were watching the videotapes, and the audio and the video didn't go along with it. What did we do? We tried doing things to try to fix it, but after a while, if it didn't correct itself, what did we do? We turned it off, and that's what we do, brothers and sisters. We turn each other off when our audio doesn't match our video. You know, we talking a good game, but yet we ain't living a good game. You know, and so often, and so many in our community, you know, do that. And that's why, shout out to that for why, because we're taught that we have to try and live a certain lifestyle, try to be better, because we have to be that example for the people, you know. And it ain't easy, you know. It darn sure ain't easy, but to whom much is given, much is required, you know. So we're not trying to just, talk God, because Jesus said any wishing to be my disciple must deny themselves, you know, pick up their cross and then follow me. And denying ourselves, you know, is the hardest thing in the world sometimes, family. We may want to go out and smoke a blunt. We may want to go out here and drink some brew. But it's not about us, because we're setting an example. So our children see us doing these things, smoking cigarettes, which is cancer itself. You poisoning ourselves. And I don't want to act like, because those that know me know what I used to do. And I'm not trying to do that, but I just have changed my life. And I thank God for that, you know. And I want for you what I want for myself. And that's all I'm saying. You know, we want to see, Michael Jackson said it best. He says, I'm starting with the man in the mirror, and I'm asking him to change his ways. You know, if we want the world to be a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change, because ain't nothing going to change. The Quran teaches us that Allah never changes the condition of a people until they first change themselves. You know, in the book of Big Mama, it says God helps those who help themselves. So, God is not going to help us until we help ourselves. In our prayers, we say, surely I've turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be upright. We're in the process of striving to be upright, because we're in a world that is dark. So, there's a song and they sing in the church that this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. So what man having the light would hide it under a bushel basket. So I would be remiss in my duty if I was over here hiding some light that Allah or God has shown me that I didn't want to share with the people, because we live in such a dark world. So I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just sharing with you what Allah has shared with me, and that was my whole intention today. May Allah bless you with a blessed day. Remember, you are the light of the world. And so we have to let our light shine before men and women, so that they can be better in this world. We want to see this world and our community better. We must change ourselves first. And then all these other things will work themselves out. So you have a blessed day. Peace, family.